Hey guys. So, I got another story for you. This is not one that many people have heard. It's not particularly one I like telling. But, for anyone who believes that there's more going on in day to day life or just in the world, the universe, call it God, call it the devil, call it whatever you want. Um, if it's not instilled in you when you're young, then at a point in time you start to consider these things. But this story is about uh, when I started to really believe it. So, as a younger man, I was struck with, for lack of a better word, melancholy. Um, it was it was bad, and it was lasting not for hours or minutes, but days, which turned into weeks, and it was horrible. I started to think that I had a dark cloud over my head or something, and then horrible things started to happen. Got hurt at work. Just a string of really, a series of unfortunate events. Um, Now, I didn't chalk any of that up to being due to anything else other than circumstance, but um, there was this feeling, like I said, which started prior to injury and things like that. Um, like a dark cloud was hanging over my head, and then it started to take on like a more sinister feel, and that's when the depression got worse. Everything just got worse, and I thought I was losing my mind. To be honest, I thought I was going crazy. I started to think about death all the time, wondering, kind of waiting for an anvil to fall on my head. Just, uh, and I thought I was just, psyching myself out. That the anxiety was just feeding this thing. Um, but there came a point where I had enough, and I decided we're not gonna be death obsessed or, um, you know, fear this weird, dark presence that I don't know. Sometimes it was almost entity like hanging around me, but if it wasn't that, then it was this overarching, like, abstract feel of like death. So I decided, all right, I'm gonna go hang out in the cemetery, do a ritual, say some words, just be around death. Um, I was hoping that the peace of the cemetery would allay this. So, me and my crew, and by my crew I mean like part of my band. So my bandmates, some of them joined me. We went to the cemetery. Just had a walk around, and then stopped and said some words. Had a little bit of silent time, just to um, kind of let some of those like anxiety driven bullshit feels kind of melt away. It didn't work at all. Not even a little. Not remotely. I didn't feel any better. And so it's like, guys, we're leaving. Fuck this. So went to walk out, and I tripped over a flat stone in the ground that had sunken in quite a bit. I got my shoe or my boot caught in it, and I just went sailing forward. Um, so here I am, like doing a Superman in the cemetery. My head misses this massive like uh, tombstone by a couple inches, and that's not me exaggerating. So um, I wind up on the ground, and I don't think much of it because I'm clumsy. Shit happens. Um, but on the ground, groaning like, "Oh my god, fuck, god, damn it!" Um, so I pull myself up, and I turn around, and my bandmates are just standing there like, I'm like, "Not the first time you've seen me fall, guys." Um, and I just get a pointing finger, and I look back at the tombstone I almost cracked my skull on, and it says Joshua Klein. So at this point, um, I was feeling horrible, and I didn't think it would get any worse. I mean, but it did. Oh, so much worse when I turned around and saw my name on the tombstone. It was like, uh, you know what the feeling was? Hopelessness. All the hope just drained out of me. It's like, this is me now. Um, just so depressed, you know, left the cemetery, went back to my house, and like, I got so low. I honestly just wanted to end it. Um, it was awful. To feel like, I mean, I'm a Scorpio, and I'm fairly, well, maybe cynical, not cynical. I'm pretty negative but hopeful. So the idea of a dark cloud over your head, that's, a lot of people feel that way, and that's, and I had felt this way. That's not what this was. If you felt like there was some kind of like uh, circling darkness or evil around you wherever you were 24 hours a day, like it's like being in open water being circled by a shark. That's what it felt like. And I know some of you probably felt something akin to that, and prior to that maybe I had too, but this was different, and it had been going on so long. I was so exhausted, just exhausted from feeling that way. It's like being hyper vigilant, anxiety inducing type of crap that just doesn't end. So all it does is drain you. So, I'm not even surprised at the time that I was ready just to throw in the towel on everything. But, so there I am feeling like I can't do this anymore. Um, and I had converted my garage into a living space at that house. Um, and at the back of the garage, big sliding glass doors and a porch right off of it. Um, so I'm staring out of the back sliding doors, just big glass doors, and again, I've got nothing left. I've got nothing left. Um, and the banister, the porch railing, which is about, 10, 15 feet from my door, onto that comes running up this little squirrel, and he stops and looks at me, and I broke down. I totally broke down. It was this wonderful, beautiful moment, like, where you are at your lowest, and it's almost like the clouds part, and you're given a gift. That's what I thought I was getting. So I'm looking at this squirrel, uh, just this adorable little thing, and like I said, I broke down. I just started sobbing. It's like, thank you, life, for this. Like I needed this so badly. Um, and then, and then, um, see the squirrel put his hands together right in front of his legs, and it's hard to say this out loud, but it happened, and it was a milestone in my life. I'm staring at the squirrel's staring at me, and then all of a sudden, there he is, bent over, yanking his crank. My cousin was living with me at the time. He came out into the my room, the garage, walks up, stands next to me, like, is that squirrel jerking off at me? And he doesn't look at me. He doesn't say anything for a second. He's like, yep. Then he said something like, I don't think I want to be around you. And then he turns around and walks out. So there I am, staring at this squirrel as he's going to town on himself. I don't know if it was the act that he was performing, or if like the icing on that cake was the eye contact. So there I am, looking at what I thought was this gift from the divine, finally an end to my paranoia and, feeling like life is trying to get me. And, I think my eyes started to twitch. I think my face started to twitch. I don't think the twitch has ever left since then, but I went from sobbing and thankful to squinty-eyed and increasingly angry until finally I just looked up my glass doors, up at the sky, and had this moment like, all right, the gloves are off. This is how it's gonna be. It's a weird thing to trace back your belief in a higher power to, a near suicidal state in which a squirrel, masturbates at you. What you feel like is your moment of redemption. That's the moment I became painfully aware of what I like to refer to as my coyote contract. And I've had a bullseye painted on my ass ever since. So that was the moment when I was looking into those two little eyes that I thought, I know something's paying attention to this. Something is watching this, because I couldn't make this shit up if I tried. And it's so absurd that it has to be watched. Someone's witnessing this other than my cousin. And I'm pretty sure they've got a bowl of popcorn, and for them they really outdid themselves. They really outdid themselves. Themselves. I'm sure it or they were really making this space for a good hearty laugh at my expense. This stupid idiot thinks he's gonna die, and oh, He thinks it's a gift. Just wait. This is the good part. It's going to shock the hell out of him and change his worldview completely. Yeah. So that's where the absurdity. I can't say that's where it started, but that's when it got ratcheted up. And it opened a door to a lot of other considerations. It put me in kind of a permanent liminal space. It's not to say I'm not a rational person. It's not to say I'm not an empiricist who looks for rational explanations and exhausts them before I make the leap to other things. Um, but that did blur the line, the black and white lines for me quite a bit. That, you know, being thrown in that, I don't know, having your worldview like radically altered in a matter of moments, and it would be an altering that would continue to unfold. But I definitely knew it then, because something was laughing at me, and I didn't like it. So that's my higher power, embarrassing, uh, Grim Reaper, evil presence, squirrel masturbating story. Enjoy your weekend.